Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission, highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McClain, Tucson's favorite family show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by the Homeless Veteran Transition Program, going on almost 10 years running, Veteran Rescue Mission. Definitely, if you want to support Veteran Rescue Mission, go to veteranrescuemission.org. You can donate there or volunteer. We have a big event coming up in November where we're going to be marching 35 miles and camping out for 3 days. So any support we can use. But before I get into that and the amazing guests we have on the show today, I've got to remind you, this would not be the Common Good Radio Show if I did not give grace to a very loving Father that makes it so I can be here and makes it so we all get to have all the blessings that we have in our life. I usually think them with the Lord's Prayer that goes a little something like this. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So that being said, we have what's quickly becoming one of my top 5 best friends, Mr. Jeremy Silverman, with by many names and many hats, but definitely for this segment, we know him as the connoisseur of Hope Dealers Global and everything that is helping entrepreneurs, realtors, business owners, just individuals save money through, a litany of offerings that Hope Dealer Global provides. But don't let me ruin it, Jeremy. You tell us, remind us, what is, who is, where is, what is, how is Hope Dealers Global?
The who, what, when, where, how. Well, you summarized some of it. So Hope Dealers works with individuals and businesses, showing them ways they can redirect their expenses. So if they've got bills they're paying, like a cell phone bill is a perfect example, you can't pay it off. You're always going to need it, and you're always going to want it. So how about looking at a way to reduce those costs and actually convert it into a monetized income stream residually? And so what we do is we work with businesses and individuals, and we show them in several different lines of bills that they pay that they can never pay off, and it's a fact of life of running business. But we show them how they can actually save money on those bills and actually turn them into a residual income if they like. And
it's been super exciting. One, just following you on Facebook. If for people listening, if you don't do anything else today, if you don't listen to anything else I say, follow Jeremy Silverman on Facebook. It's fun because you're regularly either going to networking events, you're hosting your own events, you're kind of like hinting to stuff you got going on. But speak to, firstly, some of the events that you've set up recently and then what you got upcoming.
Yeah, so we just finished up an event yesterday for contractors. And so I was showing them how I applied this principle to my contracting business years ago and how they could save money and make money on that. And so we definitely got some feedback on that. And we actually have we're looking to put a panel together of 6 contractors that would like to talk more in depth about how the healthcare space is going to affect their business and those costs. So we have that coming up. We also have an event next week geared to real estate investors, realtors, mortgage brokers, title agents, and we're showing them how when I was a realtor almost 10 years ago now, that I had showed this Hope Dealers concept to a client, and I've actually been earning a residual income now for 9 years on that one particular real estate client. And I'm going to be showing other realtors how they can do the same thing. So basically it's titled, you've earned your income at the sale, but you're now leaving a lifetime of income behind. And so we're going to be showing realtors how to take this model and provide value to their clients, and also create a residual income long after the sale.
Nice. So give us details of it. Like, where is it going to be at, what time, and then paint a picture in our minds about it.
Yeah, that'd be great. So next week, Wednesday the 20th, it'll be at the station from 2 to 3. And it's a very short meeting. There's no cost when it comes to that. And then we're going to be having several other events coming back weekly And they'll also be at different locations as well, and we'll be mentioning them. And they are on the Hope Dealers global Facebook page as well.
Awesome. And then, as I was mentioning, and being a huge fan of yours, I want to think I'm number 4 fan, I think. I know we're been arm wrestling for it. Following you around to the different events that you've been going to. I mean, in a lot of ways, you are a pillar, becoming a pillar in the networking community.
Mm-hmm.
So speak to that a little bit. Some of the events, the networking events you've been going to, and some of the people you've been speaking to out there in the community, connecting.
Yeah, so the Marana Chamber in particular was one we were at last week. Over 100 people in attendance. And again, getting the word out is key. Most people don't know that this opportunity exists. I didn't know it existed 10 years ago. And it's been 32 years now that this has been in existence. So the Marana Chamber is one of the areas. There's also some private groups around town. The group, BNI is another more formalized networking group. And we're really just expanding. I'm working with business owners that are in groups that are non-pay and for-pay groups. So we're trying to get the word out to the masses when it comes to that and offer value in what we're doing.
Yeah, and it seems like you've been presenting and speaking at a lot of those different networking groups as well lately. You got to speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so one of the topics we're really focusing on right now is the healthcare space. So right now with the changes coming up with healthcare in the next few months, people are worried. They're concerned about what the marketplace has to offer, the increased premium costs, and we're here to actually show the individuals that there's an alternative. There's a significant reduction in cost without compromising care. And I think that's the most important part, is that what are you giving up to get? Well, you're giving up a high premium, high deductible plan to a privatized plan that has a lower deductible, lower premium. Other than that, the care is the same, looks, acts, and feels like insurance. So I think that's really the big message that we're trying to get around, is that people are going to make decisions in the next few weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and they're going to have hard decisions to make. And for some people, it could be the difference of cutting back on some of the things that they genuinely like to do to cover these costs, or go without health care. And that's the last thing we would want to see.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the question I was going to ask? You went on a good one there. So it's just like, man, you got me stuck on that one, man.
Yeah.
But particularly just thinking about kind of, you're right, the changes that we're going to be seeing and how people can connect with that. But that was the question I was going to ask, is what is some, and I'm surprised I haven't asked this sooner, what are some of like the success stories or some kind of like the victory stories that you've been able to see? And I guess you said over 9 years that you've been doing this. Yeah.
So I think one of the biggest takeaways that we had was a client of ours. He was a roofing client, and we saved him over $40,000 in 1 year on his healthcare costs for his business. But the savings in that dollar figure was great. However, what it really did for his company was more than that. By doing that, we also reduced the out-of-pocket expense for his employees. So now the employees had a pay raise. The employer, the business owner, now is taking in this additional income so he can reinvest it into his company. And the benefit to that is he actually decided to monetize it, and he actually earns an income outside of it on that bill that the company pays. So what we offer is not just reduce savings, from that level, but we also create savings for their employee, better retention, better quality care service, and retention for those business owners that are really needing that talent and are trying to keep and seek that talent.
Nice. And for people who actually, real quick, tell us again the details of that upcoming event you have for people who want to attend that. And then for people who want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Yeah, that's great. So next week, Wednesday the 20th at the station from 2 to 3. If you can't make that, you can reach out to me at 520-891-8210, and we are having a 6 to 7 Zoom. So if you would like to get on Zoom and take a look, it'll be the same exact presentation, and it'll be available digitally. Just give me a call, and I'll give you the actual details and password information.
Awesome. And how can they get a hold of you?
Again, 520-891-8210, and then Hope Dealers Global on Facebook, or Jeremy Silverman on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, brother. we're going to actually be talking. We've got double trouble of Jeremy Silverman today. We're going to have a little secret. We'll tease what we have on the other end of the break. But that's Jeremy Silverman wearing his Hope Dealers Global hat. We'll have more with him after the break. But as always, want to thank our sponsors, Proper Villains for Tucson, We Care Tucson, 100 plus guys who give. Deep Breath, the White Stallion Ranch, Tucson Tool Shop, Donzel Dust Landscaping, Ramirez Cleaning, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, our favorite, Hope Dealers Global, Tucson Tamale, Herm's House, Mental Health Podcast, Masterpiece Studios, and Pep Inc. We'll have all that and more after the break. After the break, don't you change that dial. Unless you're going to tell your mom about how good the show is, because it's a really good show. There's clever people. We make jokes. So sometimes we say something that's like really profound that hits you and like it's with you all week long. You can't get it out of your head, but I can't promise that you'll have that with this show, but you'll see after the break.
The Common Good Radio Show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McLean, Tucson's favorite family show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Common Good Radio Show, brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I am Pastor John McLean, here with my fellow host, Mr. Jeremy Silverman, with the Mental Health Podcast.
Yeah.
Whoa, how does that feel?
Man, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels really
Yeah,
good.
I think you were meant for it. You were meant for it in so many ways.
There's definitely a vibe with it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So for those who aren't familiar with what is the Mental Health Podcast, we won't go through the whole what, when, where, why, how. What is the Mental Health Podcast? What is the Mental Health Podcast?
Mental Health Podcast is it's really something that it's going to speak to everybody, because when we look at music as a whole, that's the universal language. Everybody, I've not met anybody who says they hate music. They may not prefer types of music, but everybody likes something. And so the Mental Health Podcast kind of came from years of going back and forth and sharing my hobby and love for music and for being a musician. But I wanted to, as a business owner, music played a huge part in my life. So having the Mental Health Podcast is really for business owners that have a vein of music in their lives that influence what they do, creating good for our community, good for others in their profession, and really just getting to share the diversity that we have in the music world. And so this podcast is going to be really cool. It's going to showcase businesses locally in the area, potentially even nationally. And also instances where we take these songs, these musical preferences that our guests have, and we weave them into the interview process. And so it's going to be a very interesting podcast, one that you haven't seen before, but it really takes the love of music, the passion of what people do in business, and combine it together for the greater good of the community.
And knowing you, I imagine, when I say just, I don't mean it to minimize just the podcast, but knowing you, it's probably not just the podcast that you have cooked up, but there's many different arms to this octopus that are connected to a web of many different things. So fill me in.
Yeah, the tentacles are definitely lengthy here. So with the Mental Health Podcast, we have a book that's going on right now. I'm writing a book that's going to be attached to that, and it's going to really talk about the Mental Health Podcast and why it exists, why I chose to create it, and what's the real purpose of it behind it. Along with that, we have our YouTube channel coming online. We're going to be looking at sponsorship packages very soon. The launch is projected for October, so we're really looking to interview and bring on the right sponsors, the right businesses that will embrace what we're looking to do, and that really have that true love for music, business, community all together.
Yeah, and then let's just say we hop into our time machine and we go 5 years from now. What's something that you hope that the Mental Health Podcast can achieve, whether it's for the city of Tucson, for the state of Arizona, for the the United States as a whole?
Man, that's such a good question.
I got it. That's all I have.
Man, that's such a really good question. So where I see us in 5 years from now, we're going to be doing monthly, quarterly events. We're going to be doing annual retreats that circulate around music, mental, financial, spiritual health, all of those particular categories. So I can see that. I can actually see having potential events all over the country, promoting and hosting, this type of wellness through music, business, and community. And so for the next 5 years, I see us really blowing up, expanding, and really excited to see where this is going to go.
I've heard so many, we hear the saying that necessity is the mother of ability. I want to think, necessity is also the mother of many things, particularly the mother of inspiration, and so what happened in your life, or what is kind of the foundational story of why you felt like something like Mental Health Podcast and this type of framework needed to exist, not only to help yourself, but to help other people that maybe went through something like that?
Man, another really good.
I've been cooking
You're on
them
a roll
up.
for
I've been
questions.
losing sleep over these questions. Yeah.
The way I look at it is, so everybody has their own story. I can't imagine a single person on this planet that doesn't have some form of struggle in their life. In a lot of cases, music has been the catalyst to healing, to growth, to productivity, all of those types of things. And so throughout my life, I've had ups and downs, like most people have. And music was always a connecting piece. It's non-discriminatory. It doesn't judge you. And so when I look at it from that perspective, and one of the reasons why it's been such a catalyst in where we're going with things is that I know that that's a great way to speak to people, regardless of what your beliefs are, regardless of where you are in life. A lot of times the artist already has captured events in our life, and it's really interesting to see how they've expressed their pain, their happiness, their joy, through music. And so if we can do that for other people the same way, being a musician, it's very powerful. And so when I look at it from that aspect, it's one way that you can really connect with people. Yeah.
And so for people that are listening, whether it's a musician, business owner, X, Y, or Z, like what type of people are you looking for to have on the show, to interview, to be connected with, that if they are listening now, they should be reaching out to you to plug in?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a business owner, an individual, and music has spoken to you in such a way, in a profound way, that's affected your community, that's affected your life in such a way where others have seen this drastic change, I want to talk to you about that. I really want to share that story, because I think in today's world right now, we have so much negative going on that we need 10x positive to counteract that. And this is an avenue in which we can do that. I'm enthusiastic about it, and I'm looking for those that are enthusiastic as well. So if you love your business and you love music and you love how it's integrated, and you've done some amazing things, whether you've come from struggle or you are a community growth minded person and you're doing things for others, I would love to talk to you.
Interesting. And I've learned, and I won't take too long because we've got probably another couple of minutes, we have to jump out of here, but I've definitely learned through you that there's like all these closeted musicians within the business community that it seems like there's, a vulnerability that you have to get within till you actually start sharing that, because whether it's yourself or Martin or Rand or pretty much like all my good friends, you guys are all musicians. You could start your own little band. I'm the only one who doesn't play an instrument among us. What do you think that is? Why is that?
We're going to get you a cowbell, by the way.
I appreciate that.
Everybody
I'll
needs
just hum in the background.
Yeah. For musicians, a lot of people don't understand that, there's, for some musicians, it's really tough to even earn a living. And that can really affect the artist side of who you are and create a lot of mental health issues as well. So for us, reaching out to those guys, men or women out there that are musicians that maybe they work full-time job during the day and they perform at night or on the weekends or, just casually. but they are striving for more, but they've got self-doubt, they've got self-belief issues, or maybe, they've been struggling with mental health issues or financial issues. It's okay. This is a space where you can share that and not feel criticized, judged, but really just fully supported because others are like you.
This is so brilliant. You're so smart, man. I just want to sit and with my hand on my
It's not what the
my
IQ
chin,
test
just
says.
watching you all day. So, for people who want to reach out to you through Mental Health Podcast and kind of like plug into that, what does that look like?
So definitely like our page on Facebook. We're just getting started with that, but we're stay tuned for lots of announcements. Same thing with our YouTube. Become a YouTube subscriber. We're getting started with those things, so best to get on early when you can, so you can really see the announcements. I think the other thing too is, again, reach out to me at 520-891-8210. I'd love to talk to you. You can reach out to me on Facebook as well, message me. I'm all over the place, so I'm an easy guy to find, an easy guy to get in touch with, and I'd love to talk with you more about Mental Health Podcast.
Awesome. So any last thing you want people to know about either Hope Dealer Global or Mental Health Podcast?
Well, Mental Health Podcast wouldn't be here without the help of Hope Dealers Global, and I really give a lot of credit to that particular business itself. But for those that want to know more about either one of those, please feel free to reach out, 520-891-8210.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thanks again.
That's Jeremy Silverman, the founder of Hope Dealers Global and now the founder of Mental Health Podcast. This is a brilliant thing. Definitely look into it. It's going to take off like a rocket. I would get into it early, like he said.
It's going to be rocking.
Absolutely. It's going to be rocking. But we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsors as always, and thank you all for listening. But remember, at the end of every day, it's night.